Howdy friends, it's time for another pantry meal. Today we are doing chicken enchiladas. Now in this can is some pickled jalapenos. Remember that pantry meals are meals that we make that everything comes from what you have in the kitchen, in your fridge, in your pantry. We're not going to the grocery store, so it's got to be things that you have on hand. Normally I have green chilies on hand, but I had a leftover can of pickled jalapeno, which is jalapenos, carrots, and a little bit of onion. And I actually think I'm going to try to make some of that next year with the garden because this stuff is really good. To that, we're going to add one small can and one large can of chicken. Now, if you're at home and you have the larger cans of chicken, I would have done 2 of these because I could have fit 2 more enchiladas in my pan. The enchilada recipe that I'm using is like, you could do 10 to 12, depends on how fat you make your enchiladas, but that's okay. I drained my chicken. It was chicken and water, not chicken and oil, and I'm just going to break it up and mix it in with the jalapenos. Once you're comfortable with that, you are going to add in about a cup of cheese. Now, I'm using a combination of cheddar and Colby Jack, but this would also be really good with pepper jack cheese. Use whatever you want. To a steaming hot pan, we are going to put our tortillas down. They need about 10 to 15 seconds each side. I ended up with 10. I made 12, but I ended up with 10. It just depends on how fat you fill them and if you had a full thing of enchilada sauce. Now again, this is a pantry meal, so we are using some of my husband's homemade verde sauce. I have a butt ton of this. I think I end up using 2 pint jars of it. And I'm just adding it to that hot pan that we had, which is why I picked it up off the burner because I didn't want it to burn. But this stuff actually is very tasty. And we're just going to warm it up in the pan because I've turned my pan down. It's down on low now. And once, I've gotten it all so it's not boiling over, we're going to add some of it to the bottom of your 13 by 9 inch. Now, you do probably want to spray, and I think I did, you just couldn't see it, the bottom of your pan. But we're going to put the verde sauce on the bottom because we want to make sure we get some of it on all sides of it, but also to make sure that it's saucy. You're going to dip one side of your tortilla in the verde sauce, put the non-dipped side down on your plate, and let's build. We're going to add in our filling, and you want a nice line of this, at least a 1/2 inch thick. It does not need to be a 1/2 inch tall, or you will have really fat enchiladas, but not as many of them. But again, this is a pantry meal and you could adjust this to any way that you would like. You could also do this with taco seasoning or pulled pork or barbacoa or tofu, whatever you want. This is a versatile and super easy meal. Once you've stuffed and rolled all of your tortillas, you're going to take the rest of your verde sauce and we are going to drizzle it all over. You do want to make sure that you get it all over the tortillas. It's enchiladas. It's supposed to be saucy, y'all. Once you've done that, you're going to take some more of your cheese from before, and we are just going to cover our enchiladas in the cheese. And again, I'm currently using a mix of cheddar and Colby Jack. And then you're going to spray a nice piece of foil and put it on top. And we're going to put this in the oven at 350 for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, you're going to take your foil off and put it back in the oven for another 10 to melt your cheese. And you just have a super easy meal, and it was so delicious. And this is like one of those 30-minute meals because most of it is already prepared for us. This is what it looked like.